All You Need to Know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning, I'm Alex Matthew and this is All You Need to Know. Today is the 29th of May. There are some big updates to tell you about, so let me get down to the biggest one. A panel headed by former Reserve Bank of India Governor Bimal Jalan, which was set up to review the economic capital framework of the RBI, may not recommend a large transfer from the central bank's existing reserves to the government. A person aware of the development and who requested anonymity told Bloomberg Quint this. While the panel may recommend tweaking some of the rules that determine the amount of reserves held by the central bank, these changes may not result in a significant one-time transfer. It'll be important to study the bond market over the course of the next few days and after the release of the report. A lack of a significant transfer of funds from the RBI to the government may entail higher market borrowing this financial year. India's benchmark 10-year government bond yield ended mostly unchanged at 7.15%. Watch out for Sun Pharma in trade today. The company's quarterly profit fell by more than half, missing analyst estimates on account of restructuring of the business. The company's net profit fell over 50% compared with the same period last year to 636 crore rupees. Analysts had pegged the number at 976 crore rupees. DHFL or Dewan Housing Finance has sent a notice to the exchanges yesterday denying that its promoters had received a lookout notice from the Home Ministry. The stock had fallen yesterday after media reports suggested a lookout notice had been issued over non-existent shell companies. In international news, Angela Merkel's succession plans are apparently in trouble. Germany's leader has decided protege Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer isn't up to the job. AKK, as she is popularly called, oversaw the CDU's worst ever result in national elections over the weekend, and her diminishing popularity leaves the Chancellor more determined to stay in power until her term ends in 2021. The US again refrained from labeling China a currency manipulator when the Treasury Department issued its semi-annual foreign exchange report to Congress yesterday. That decision leaves one of President Donald Trump's campaign promises unfulfilled, but avoids further escalation in the US-China trade war. Meanwhile, former White House strategist Steve Bannon is urging Trump to go all the way and intensify his trade battle with China by barring Chinese businesses from US capital markets and technology. Bannon made the comments in Kazakhstan, where he was attending a media forum. Meanwhile, equity in Asia is trending lower after worries about trade reversed early gains in the US to send stocks in that market to a 2-month low. It also pushed the Treasury yield curve deeper into inversion. The gap between the 3-month and 10-year rates reached the widest since March, historically a signal that a recession is looming. The Dow lost nearly 250 points, the S&P 500 ended lower by 0.8%, while the Nasdaq slumped 0.4%. All three early rises in Asia were trading in the red this morning, with 2 of the 3 down over 1%. In the Indian equity market, the Nifty and Sensex ended marginally positive yesterday, while the banking index, the Nifty Bank, ended with cuts of about 0.2%. Foreign institutional investors net sold equity worth over 500 crore rupees in yesterday's session after 3 days of substantial buying. Domestic institutional investors net bought equity worth 270 crore rupees after 6 straight sessions of selling. With that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Agam. How is it looking today?
Good morning, Alex, and good morning, listeners. Well, as per the SGX Nifty futures indications, we're likely to see a muted start to Indian markets today. But let's talk about earnings, which should pretty much set the tone for the market, starting off with Sun Pharma, where its results came in below estimates on account of one-time adjustments due to change in its distribution in India business. Sun Pharma's revenues rose only 2.7% year-on-year, with profits declining by nearly 53% at 636 crores. Among other pharma companies, we had Aurobindo Pharma, where the consolidated top line grew a strong 31% and margins remained steady at 20%. But it was a muted quarter for Pfizer, where revenues rose only 3%, profits rising 4.7%. Among other earnings, NMDC's standalone numbers showed strong growth, whereas IRB Infra and TeamLease announced in-line earnings. In terms of earnings to watch today, from the Nifty 50, we will have Power Grid and Mahindra & Mahindra announce results. Among other news, DHFL clarifies that the news on the lookout notice issued against promoters stating that promoters have not received any such communication. And Care Ratings downgrades Aksh Optofibers from BBB to D owing to ongoing delays in debt service along with ongoing development of letter of credit. Now, these are just some of the stocks that you can keep an eye on as we move into trade today, but don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a lovely day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.